welcome to the May 5th version of the Rules Confirmations of Public Elections Committee. And so we will get started. We're going to go to resolutions, and without objection, I'd like to move to the late resolution by Councilmember Taylor. I know he's got some place to be, so we'll go ahead and, if nobody has an objection, we'll just hear that case right now. So the resolution is a late file resolution approves an amendment of the lease agreement between Metro Nashville Police Department and Signature Center LP for office space for the Police Advocacy Support Services PASS program.
Chair, that is part of the PASS program as well.
That was
That's our theme song.
PTSD from a phone that won't stop. I'm sorry.
that was Councilmember Johnston's phone for the record. And so, Councilmember Taylor, you want to tell us about the late file nature of this resolution?
Thank you. So the application, so there's a current lease with the PASS program in Metro Police Department that actually ended last month, and we are in a new lease on an honor system basically until this resolution is filed. There's a clerical error in the filing of the resolution and of the application. So we're here today to ask for you all to give us some time today for a late file resolution. If you want to hear more, I can. If not, okay.
Anybody have any objection to the late file nature of this?
No.
All right, we don't have any objections, so thanks very much, Councilmember Taylor. And now we'll move on with the agenda as listed. We'll go with RS 2022-1505.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Could I request that the other late file be heard, just in case I have to go to the other committee?
Yes, sir.
It's the one by Kevin Roden. I'm a
Good.
signer on that
I'll
one.
go to that one right now. That will be late resolution, recognizes the Donald Christian Academy Wildcat football team as the 2021 Division II A state football champions. And so we have Councilmember Rutherford and Councilmember Evans here who can speak to that. So would you like to speak to the late file nature of it?
As to the late file nature, Councilmember Roden, as the prime sponsor, wanted to make sure that we get that in so that we can have it presented prior to the end of the school year. And that's basically the nature of the late files.
Anybody have any objection to that? I see no objections, so thank you very much, and that's what we'll report it. Okay, we'll go to RS 2022-1505. Virtue and Pulley sponsors approves the election of certain notaries public for Davidson County. And now we're really going to substantive nature of this. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion on this? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? All right, now we've got RS 2022-1504, Councilmember O'Connell, sponsor, recognizes Ryman Auditorium, the mother church of country music, and its 130 years as Music City's most famous and respected concert venue. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And seconded, Councilmember O'Connell.
I recommend approval.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, we recommend approval. Councilmember Collins, you want to, oh, he's here. Okay, there you go. All right. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to, because Councilmember Sledge is here, we'll move to late second substitute to BL 2022-1164, amends Chapter 9.30 of the Metro Code pertaining to construction sites. Councilmember Sledge, we don't need the substance. You can just speak to the late file nature.
Yeah, late file nature was, quite frankly, Ms. Zeitling got left off an email chain in which we were adding in language requested by the general contractors and the builders. So the late file that I'm bringing adds their language in.
Anybody have any discussion related to that? No. Any objections? No. All right. Thank you, Councilmember Sledge. We will so note no objection. All right. We have I believe one more resolution, another late resolution. Approves a contract between the Metropolitan Government and Waste Management Incorporated of Tennessee for the provision of solid waste collection and collection of carts. Councilmember Evans, I believe you are listed as a sponsor. Can you speak to that?
Yes, so I've added on since nobody else could be here, but basically it's late filed because of the urgent need to go ahead and get this in place for Waste Management to be able to move forward with getting their carts and process their trash collection and everything for the city. And of course, Ms. Smith is here and she can also speak to the late filed nature as well.
Yeah, and we're also paying significantly more money than we normally would with emergency assistance, so this is gonna actually get us in a contract. Their contract rates are obviously significantly lower, so that's why we were asking to have it late filed.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments? Any objection to late file nature? All right, we will so note that. Thank you both for speaking to that. I believe that gets us to elections and confirmations. So there are several of you here for the Beer Permit Board, Sports Authority, and the Zoning Appeals Board. As your name is called, correct me if I mispronounce it, and I will ask you several questions. You will quickly, if you're later in the agenda, you'll hear the routine, so you'll be able to answer those questions quickly. And then I'll ask the committee here if anyone has any questions, and we'll proceed on in that fashion. So without further ado, I'm going to go to, I think, is Miss Carolyn Perry here? I think we'll move her to the heel because I understand she was going to be late. So we'll move to the Sports Authority. And before I get started, we have, I believe, 4 appointments for the Sports Authority. I'd like to recognize the director, executive director, Monica Foxnaughton here, if you'd like to have any comments.
Well, I don't have much of a comment. Thank you for having us. And we have I think our board is doing a lot of great work, for a lot of great appointments and really committed public servants, and excited for you all to meet the latest nominees. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to have you here. All right, next is the Sports Authority appointment of Ms. Kim Adkins for a term expiring February 17th, 2028. Ms. Adkins, welcome. Good to see you here. Are you a registered voter in Davidson County?
Yes.
Are you a Davidson County resident?
Yes.
Do you serve on any other metro boards or commissions?
No.
Okay. And is this a reappointment?
Yes.
And why do you want to continue to serve on the Sports Authority?
It's an honor to serve my community. Certainly, there's a lot of excitement under the purview of the Sports Authority and the good work that we're doing for youth and exposure to sports in our community. Certainly, having a young daughter who's active in the sporting world as just an 11-year-old and seeing the impact, and especially the work that we're doing on the Women's Professional Sports Initiative, I feel that I have a little left to give, and I'd be honored to continue to serve.
Is she trying to become the first female predator? Is that what I'm?
Maybe so. To be seen.
There's a state law against that, isn't it?
No, it's-
I'm sorry.
You want a name change? I can already hear it. Any questions from the committee or?
I have a
Ms. Atkins?
question.
Go ahead.
You're one of my constituents, and it's Cinco de Mayo. You did not bring any tacos, no margaritas.
I
I don't understand what's
But
wrong.
back in District 26, I'm sure that can be arranged.
That's true. That's true. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's good. See, she covered the margaritas with the tacos, what she did.
I did. I listed that first.
Yes, Councilmember Lee.
Well, she's not in my district, but I have known her for quite a while, and she would be very good on that or any other committee that she did, because she's very good at reaching out, working with people, so.
I would second that. Any other comments or questions? All right, let's take the vote. All in favor of Ms. Atkins' appointment?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we recommend approval. Thank you very much. Now, the Sports Authority appointment of Mr. Winston Justice for a term expiring February 17th, 2028. Mr. Justice, are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
How are you? Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for
Are
having
you a registered voter in this county?
Yes,
Are you a Davidson County resident?
yes.
Do you serve on any other metro boards or commissions?
No, I don't.
And is this a reappointment or a initial appointment?
It's initial appointment.
Okay, good. Well, glad to have you. Why do you want to serve in this capacity?
Well, I think sports brings communities together, and one of the reasons why my family and I moved here is for a community. So, I want to serve in that capacity.
Thank you very much for that. Any questions or comments from the board or from the committee?
Tacos?
Sorry.
All right, Councilmember Mendez.
Thanks for recognizing me. I stopped by for rules after serving for 4 or 5 years. I kind of miss it. For Sports Authority, I'd like to mention to folks who are new especially that like you guys are asked to weigh in on apparently $2 billion deals. And often the dynamic is that at Sports Authority, if members have questions in administration, regardless of administration, will say, oh, don't worry, the council's still got to weigh in on it. And then after the Sports Authority approves it, we get to the council and we get told, oh, you don't have to worry about it, the Sports Authority already approved it. And that sort of ships passing in the night, especially people with deep financial expertise. Like, we would love, and I think I speak for all council members, we would love for an affirmative application of that skill set rather than relying on the administration, any administration, saying, don't worry about it, the council's got you covered if there's something wrong. But I just wanted to come and say that. I've said that for a few years now with Sports Authority. Some folks have heard it before. So thanks for being willing to serve.
Great, thank you for having me.
Appreciate those comments. Any other council members not on the committee like to ask any questions? All right, I guess we're ready to take the vote. All in favor of this appointment?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we recommend approval. Thank you very much, Mr. Justice. Next, another Sports Authority appointment of Mr. Aaron McGee for a term expiring February 17, 2028. Mr. McGee?
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm well.
Is this a reappointment or an initial appointment?
See a smile on my face.
It must be initial.
It's a real.
That must be a fake smile.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, I'll ask you the same set of questions. Are you a registered voter?
Yes.
Davidson County resident?
Yes.
You serve on any other Metro boards or commissions?
No.
And so tell us why you want to be reappointed to this position.
Yeah, so it's primarily rooted in leadership for both my community and making sure that I live in Antioch, District 32, so making sure that my community has a voice that's represented, my perspective. I'm a Nashville native, and so that matters in where the city is going, and sports is part of the fabric of the city, and so I want to continue to be a part of what's happening in the city coming forward. And my executive director is in the room, and I never hold back on celebrating the leadership of Monica. And so, you know, to come back to this seat before you all is really also rooted in we get to do great work under great leadership. And my board chair, Kathy Bender, isn't in the room, but we have some great leadership on board. Kim is coming back. Thank you all. So I'm excited about working with these people and doing right by Nashville through our responsibility of partnering with community and managing facilities.
Thank you.
Appreciate those comments and your enthusiasm very much.
Sure.
Any comments or questions from members of the committee? Anybody outside the committee? All right, we're ready to take the vote. All in favor of Mr. McGee's appointment?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we recommend approval. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Next, the Sports Authority appointment of Mr. Michael Zura. Is that right? Zira? I had it right the first time. All right, Zira for term expiring February 17, 2028. Is this a reappointment or an appointment?
Appointment.
Okay, all right, thank you. Initial appointment. We'll appreciate your interest in this. Are you a registered voter?
Yes.
Davidson County resident?
Yes.
Do you serve on any other Metro boards or commissions? And so tell us why you want to jump into this.
I can't possibly follow that answer.
No, he set the bar high.
I left the tacos in the car, so I'll bring them next time. But sports have shaped my entire life, my business career, my personal life. I've had a couple different business ventures in sports. I've worked in different cities, different states, all in sports. So professionally, I have a vast knowledge within the industry. And then when I was talking to friends about this opportunity to give back, I'm a new Nashville resident. I just moved here about a year ago. I've fallen in love with the city, everything it offers, from Nissan Stadium to Bridgestone. I've spent a lot of my time in sports already. So to be able to be part of that community professionally and give back and to be involved in Nashville, and do everything I can to apply my industry knowledge to the city, it's a dream come true to use my experience in my new hometown.
Well, that's a pretty impressive answer as well. So thank you for that, and thank you for your enthusiasm.
Still no tacos, though.
In the car, they're coming.
They're coming.
She's really not after the tacos, seriously.
I would eat them.
So, any questions from the committee? Comments? Any questions from outside? Yes, sir.
Thanks, I'm just gonna pile on a little bit. Especially new to town, I would heartily recommend that you track down former Sports Authority members and try to hear firsthand the sort of the evolution of it. There's a, and you may not know this if you're new to town, a big chunk of the city finances really happens outside the purview of the Metro Council through revenue bonds, the revenue of the Sports Authority to pay the bonds for the Sports Authority. And so once stuff gets approved at the front end, the 40 of us that sit in this body can't do anything. And so we really rely on y'all to know the evolution of the organization and how it works. So appreciate your willingness to serve.
Thank you for sharing that. Good, great advice.
Thank you, council member. Anybody else? All right, we're ready to take the vote. All in favor of recommended approval?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we recommend your approval. Thank you very much. That concludes the Sports Authority Award, and I appreciate all you guys. Now we will move to the Zoning Appeals Board appointment. Mr. Peyton Bradford for a term expiring February 26, 2027. Let the record reflect that everybody in the state of Tennessee is not spelled like Peyton Manning, and this is incorrect, so it's P-A-Y-T-O-N. Mr. Bradford, glad to have you here. Proud Davidson District 25 constituent. So I'll ask you the same question.
himself on that.
Very assumptive.
Are you a registered voter?
I am.
Davidson County resident?
Proudly of District 25.
Thank you, sir, for that. Serve on any Metro boards or commissions?
I do not.
All right, and this is a new appointment, so tell us why you want to be on the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Well, the first reason is I love my neighborhood and I'm a new dad. I got the first involvement I ever had in sort of citizen governance was helping out some neighbors with an application for our traffic calming program. Unfortunately, we were like the second worst street in Metro in terms of speed. I live on Battlefield Drive, where Councilmember Pulley lives. And so we were awarded a traffic calming project. During that process, had to sort of work with competing interests of neighbors on the streets to come up with a solution that made it more pedestrian friendly, slowed traffic down, but also kept everyone satisfied. So I became interested in serving on a board and started kind of looking at where my background might work and might fit and where my interests lie. And I think that the work that the BZA does with variances and item A appeals and really kind of getting into the meat of the zoning code and reviewing the Mr. Hargis's often excellent determinations. And so I am excited to serve and excited to dig in and do the work.
Appreciate that very much. Any questions or comments from the committee?
And I'll add a Go Dogs for.
Oh, yes.
Okay, proud District 25 resident, Georgia Bulldog.
Did you know that?
I did not.
That's why he was pissed off about the spelling of
Absolutely, completely inappropriate, really an attack.
Yes, a double graduate of the University of Georgia. So.
Oh, right. Bulldog.
So, all right, any questions? Besides that wonderful comment about the Bulldogs. All right, so I guess we're ready to take the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we recommend approval, so thank you very much, Mr. Bradford. Now we'll go back to the beginning of the agenda and see if Miss Carolyn Perry has made it. She's not here, so, well.
Do we have any word on her? No? So defer one meeting?
Is that by rule, or do we need to vote on it?
I think that you could vote on it, or, I mean, she's not here, so there's nothing to.
Okay, all right.
I'd move to defer at one meeting.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll defer one meeting then. That, has anybody else got anything you want to bring up? Yes?
I just wanted to know, did John blame me appropriately for getting my resolution in late?
Yes.
Everybody
covered
did.
for
You were derelict.
It was disgusting.
The speech was basically, this is Roten's.
I just got one thing. Mr. Justice, you played for the Eagles. My son's a Giants fan. I'd like to know how to fix that. Do you have any advice?
I don't know.
Okay. It's one of those things.
Just, yeah,
Okay.
it is what it is.
How do you become a Giants fan when he's from Nashville?
I don't know. A friend of his during impressionable years, he just hung out with the wrong people.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree.
There you go. All right, without anything further, then we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Now that the Eagles have N'Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis, though.